Hi, I'm Melinda, owner of BeanHoppers.com and the Opinionated Coffee Reviewer. Today I'm going to be talking about the Ninja Coffee Maker, and I'm going to talk about the features, what I thought of them, and how the coffee turned out when I brewed it. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion. It might be good, it might be bad. Either way, it's going to be honest. So let's get started. So the Ninja Coffee Maker seems to be a really good single cup brewer. It does make a half carafe and a full carafe. However, I feel like it works better as a single cup brewer, and I'll go into that a little more later. I'm going to start with the features on the machine itself, and I'm going to start with the water reservoir. I really liked the idea that the water reservoir could remove, because then you can just bring it over to your filtered water and fill it up really nice and easy. You don't have to bring multiple things to the machine, which I like. This little top just comes right off. It's fine. The one thing I do really like about this reservoir is that it's really easy to carry. It's got these little indented handles, so as you carry it, it's nice and sturdy. It's pretty heavy duty, and it's easy to carry. It also has lines on it you can fill it up to the top, or you can fill it up to the single cup. Now, I do like that fact. The one thing I wasn't so excited about with this is that I was happy because it came off, but I wanted to be, the reason I was happy was because I thought it was going to be easy to clean, and it's really not at all easy to clean. You can't get your hand in there and scrub it out with a scrub brush or scrubby or whatnot. I like to be able to make sure if water's sitting on something, I can clean it really well, and it doesn't do that. So, but it does do, it carries easy, and it goes on really nice and easy, and it's convenient. So, and you can also fill up the water to the very top and just use the lower settings and use a little bit each day, so you don't have to refill it every day. So if you're using it as a single cup brewer, that's good for a few days, 4 days, 5 days maybe, depending on how much you use. And so that's kind of nice. You don't have to fill it every day. It has markings on the water reservoir that coincide with the options on the front of the machine. And that's like the single cup, the large cup, the half carafe, and the full carafe. And I'll go into each one of those a little later. Next, we'll look at the filter basket holder. It slides in and out really nice and easy. It's convenient that it doesn't, it just sits there and doesn't fall, doesn't all come out, but the inside comes out. So you can set it down on the table or counter and it won't fall over. And one really cool feature about this is that it's got a little tab here on the edge of the gold tone filter that you can just grab it from and then knock it off into the trash. I love that because other filter baskets like this one I have come with this little handle, and you have to kind of grab it to turn it, and then it's hot and it's messy, and this is much nicer to be able to just pop it in. It has little vents on the side, so it would help with your coffee not overflowing. And this also comes out really nice, easy, rinse it out, throw it all in your drain board, and you're good to go for the next morning. I like to make sure everything's rinsed out right after I use it, so the next day it's dry and I'm not putting coffee grounds into something already wet. So that's the thing. It goes in and out real nice and easy. Gold tone filter is nice because what you get with the gold tone filter is you get more of the coffee oils, and a lot of the caffeine is in the coffee oils. And so you actually, when you use a gold tone filter, you'll get a little more caffeine. I don't know if it's an extraordinary amount, but why not get all you can get? But That said, if it's too harsh of a flavor for you, then you can take this out and use a paper filter. I recommend the white paper filters because the brown ones taste like dirt. Don't use them. They're gross. Your coffee is going to be gross. So pop the paper filter into the holder, and then you have a cup that's a little more mild, a little smoother. So, because the Gold Tone filter, you're going to get a little sediment. No matter what, it's going to offer you some sediment, but also the extra oils, because the paper filter will absorb oils from your coffee, and but it will be smoother. So there's that. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the thermal carafe. I like this thermal carafe for a couple different reasons. One, it's got a really nice shape. The whole thing kind of looks nice on your counter. It's kind of more of like a, what would I say, industrial retro type of look to it, but it's very attractive, I think. The carafe has a nice shape to it. It's got a nice weight, and it's got a really nice feeling handle. The lid pops off pretty easy, and my favorite thing about it is it keeps the coffee hot, but I'm kind of a freak about cleaning things, so I like to get my hand in there and clean it out. This carafe does that, and not very many do, so that's a great thing. I've only tested the temperature for a couple of hours because we pretty much drink everything that we have within the hour, but it keeps it nice and hot for those couple hours. The lid is a brew-through lid, so what's really nice is that once you screw it on, it's ready to brew. It's ready to pour. You don't have to twist it and open it to pour your cup of coffee. And so, thumbs up for that. So it brews right through the top, screwed on. Then it has this little tube, and I've seen this on a couple of other coffee makers. You can't clean these things really well, and you can get a brush in there. I just prefer not to do it, but the purpose of it is so that when it's brewing through the lid, that all of the newer coffee that's being brewed goes down to the bottom and kind of stirs it up so that everything on the top is the same as everything on the bottom. It integrates it. I don't really honestly think it makes that much of a difference, but you know, it's kind of a cool concept. Next is this nice little shelf that's created for your single cups. And so you can put your single cup on there. It's got like a little rubbery surface to it so it doesn't slide off. And in that way you can brew a single cup, and it's not really low so it doesn't get all splashy and make a mess. That is my technical term, splashy and mess. So you can brew a single cup, a large cup, and I forgot to mention that the filter basket holder has a drip stop. So if you're brewing a carafe and you want to pull it out and pour a cup, you can do that real quick by stopping the drip and brewing your pouring your cup. However, I never recommend that. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take all the strong coffee from the beginning of the brew, and you're going to have the rest of your pot taste much weaker and watery because you've taken the strongest part of the extraction of the coffee out of the brew already. So don't do that. Just wait a few minutes. It's not that hard. But what I do too is at the end I will close the drip stop so that when I pull the carafe out, none of the extra water that's still in there drips all over the bottom, and that's cool. That's what I use it for, and that's what they recommend in the book. Okay, so single cup, and then what's really cool is that you lift that up, you take your large cup, and you do an extra large cup, and it's got the settings for the single, a little large cup, the travel mug, and a extra large travel mug, the half carafe, and the full carafe. So it's very simplistic. Now this machine, I feel like is, it gives you some options, but your options aren't unlimited. If you like to do, say, 20 ounces, 24 ounces, 2 12-ounce mugs for the day at one time, you can't, because you've only got options for specified a number of ounces per brewing cycle, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute, what they are. Another great thing about this machine is it's really handy that they have a little scoop right here on the side. So if you're a scooper, and you don't measure coffee by weight, which I like to do, scoops are really handy and easy, and the large side actually holds 11 grams, which is a perfect 2 tablespoon scoop for the perfectly brewed coffee. Now the small one, I think I measured to hold about 5 grams. So maybe that, and right here on the scoop, it tells you to, if I can even read it, my blind is bad. So if you brew the single cup, it recommends you say you put in 2 to 3 scoops, and then the large ones 3 to 5 scoops, and the half carafe 3 to 4 scoops on the large side, and then the full carafe they say 4 to 6 scoops. Now that said, I don't agree with the scoops at all. That is not enough coffee to brew a whole pot of coffee. 4 to 5 2 tablespoon scoops for the full carafe is 53 ounces. No, it's very weak, not flavorful at all. According to the Specialty Coffee Association, you should use about 11 grams, which is 1 scoop, per 6 ounces of water. So by my calculations, you should, and I have a little chart that I have made, and you can get one of these for free. If you send me an email, I'll mail it to you or email it to you, whichever you like. It's got all the cups, the ounces, how much coffee to put in. According to these calculations, you should be using 8 to 9 scoops for a full pot. And they want you to do 4 to 6. That's just not enough coffee. So I made my own little chart. I wrote it on a little sticky. I calculated what I liked in the different brewing methods, and I wrote up my own little thing, so I knew how many scoops to use when I wanted to scoop. So there's that, and I'll share that with you. I've written it down on my blog, on my full blog page, and you can visit us at beanhoppers.com and read that blog so you can get that chart. So the last item on here is the frother. Now, I kind of thought that the frother meant that it was going to be like a steam wand, like on an espresso machine. I guess I didn't really read the description close enough, but it's not. So you have to put your milk in a cup, heat it up in the microwave, and then froth it with the little frother. It's just like it's like a little spinny whisk. So, and it froths up your milk, and it does pretty well. And makes it kind of creamy so you can make specialty drinks. And it comes off really nice, so it's easy to clean. You can just take it off, rinse it. So that's kind of cool. And it has its place, because I know that sometimes I brewed really strong coffee and I thought, I want to add some creamer to this, but I don't really want to add it cold. I heat it up, you froth it up and makes it creamy. It's kind of a nice option. However, you can purchase these separately with regular machines, and they're not very expensive, but it's nice and handy right on the side. If you ever want it, it's right there. You could use it for other things if you want. Okay, so I'm going to go into the settings and tell you what I think about them, of course. The options are, let me look at my notes here. The options are, you can brew a single cup, and the single cup yields, they don't tell you how much water you start with, they tell you how much the setting yields. So the cup yields between around 9 ounces. The extra large cup yields around 10 to 11.5 ounces. The travel mug yields 13 to 14 ounces, and the half carafe, I had to measure it out how much it held, because it doesn't tell you how many ounces are going into the water reservoir. So I like to know how many ounces I'm using, so I know how much coffee to use. But if you are somebody who just wants something super simple and someone to hand you the machine and say, here, use this much, use this much, use this much, this is a great machine. It makes good coffee. I've had better, but it's a good machine. It's about $200 on Amazon, and I'll provide a link below. So super great for these 4 single servings, because if you just want a big giant travel mug, 18 ounces right out the door, boom, you're done. Great. If I want 24 ounces, I can't do it. So me and my husband, we each have about 12 ounces a mug in the morning. We both want a mug. I want to brew them both at the same time. I can't. We have to set up the machine twice. I brew it and then he brews it. But if the next option is 35 ounces, we can't drink 35 ounces of coffee before we go to work in the morning. It's too much. So not enough, too much. It's not perfect for everybody, but if you can work within these parameters and the settings, it's a great machine. Especially if you're a single cup user and then all of a sudden you have company over. You have your single cup brewer, super easy. It's easier than a Keurig because this is a much easier clean out than the little Keurig permanent filters. You just bang it out and it's done. And then the full carafe, which is 53 ounces. So all you do is you set it on the desired option. Make sure you have water in the reservoir. Set it on your option. Press whether you want classic or rich. Now what I tried to do was get a properly brewed cup of coffee on the classic setting using the proper measurements. And it works pretty well. But if you want it a little stronger, use the same amount of water. And then use the same amount of grinds, and then use the rich setting, and you'll get a heavier, more full-bodied cup of coffee. And then they also have an over ice setting, and which so the classic will give you X amount of water through your coffee grounds. The rich, same amount of coffee grounds, it'll use less water, so it'll make it heavier, more full-bodied, richer, or stronger, if you will. The over ice, same amount of coffee grounds, uses less water, so it's going to make it super concentrated, almost half of what you would normally use. Because what you're going to do over ice is you're going to fill this cup up to the top with ice, and you're going to push the over ice option, and it's going to yield the same number of ounces as it would on the classic if you include the ice as water. So if you did the classic, it's going to come out 18 ounces. If you brew the over ice, the coffee itself and the extra large is going to be only 7 ounces, but it's going to fill with ice and it's going to be cold. However, I don't brew anything over ice. I think it tastes terrible. I think it gets bitter. It changes the coffee flavor to me. If I really want something over ice, I'll brew it extra strong and let it sit, or put it in the refrigerator, cool it off before I put it over ice, because the ice is gonna melt a little bit. But if you brew hot right over the ice is just gonna melt. You'll have a little left, but it's not gonna be icy. And then the last setting on here is the specialty. Now what the specialty does is it says it brews like only 4 ounces of liquid of coffee, but it wants you to use 2 full scoops of ground coffee, which is really, really strong. So what the idea is to have really strong coffee that you can dilute with a milk-based drink so you can still taste the coffee flavor. Now it's not espresso, but it's going to give you a nice balance, and they also provide you with a bunch of recipes, which is really kind of cool. So you can make up stuff and make a specialty drink with really strong coffee. So that's kind of fun. It makes it fun, it makes it unique. Overall, my impression of this machine is that it's a good machine, and it's best as a single cup brewer. If you can use the machine within the parameters given and you want just something super simple, this might be a great machine for you. I really think so. And if you want great coffee in your machine, you should definitely come visit us at beanhoppers.com and check out our Coffee of the Month Club, and send me an email if you have any questions. And I really hope that the review was helpful to you, to help you in your decision to buy the Ninja bar or not. It's really up to you, because it's really all about what your needs are. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Please leave me a big thumbs up if this video was helpful. I really appreciate it. And click subscribe, because I'm going to be doing all kinds of other video reviews on all kinds of other coffee products. And leave me a comment. Have a great day. Bye.